Happy Monday and welcome to our podcast. And you might have seen our newsletter last week where I said that hope can be a strategy. I just want to clarify that because if you know me, you know that I hate hope and pray as a wealth plan. Hope is not a strategy and prayer is not a portfolio construction method of any kind. Wishing for the markets to be calm is not a risk management strategy. So here's what I meant. Because what's dangerous right now isn't fear. Markets have always had fear. Good markets, high markets, low markets. But what's really dangerous is financial nihilism. This is a quiet belief that, you know what, why bother? Why save anymore? Why invest? And really, if the future is broken anyway, why plan? And although understandable in these times, I mean, every single news headline, nonstop negative news, where war after war, political chaos, inflation. There's a lot of bad in the news cycle, that's for sure. But taking this worldview and allowing it to bleed into your financial plan that really does real damage. Quietly, but it's financially punitive because nihilism doesn't make you reckless. It just makes you inactive. So you stop contributing and you stop reviewing. You stop taking your advisor's phone calls, for instance, or you stop making your meetings and you stop doing the next steps as they're outlined. That really, here's the truth, because it won't show up in headlines. Every single generation that has invested through chaos, political chaos. Every single one. There've been cold wars and hot wars, inflation and deflation and depression and political chaos of every kind. But yet people who stuck to disciplined plans, they were always rewarded, not because of luck, but because they actually stayed engaged. And staying engaged means that you stay aware so that you're comfortable in the behavior that allows you to succeed. So listen closely. This is not blind optimism because, again, hope by itself is useless. But when you combine hope with discipline, that is a plan. Hope allows you to say something like, even though you know it's going to be difficult, you're going to stick to what you originally said you would do. You're going to act intentionally. You're going to be very, very determined that if you stick to your well-conceived plans, you will actually force the result. Things like compounding. That still works, even though it doesn't feel that way in the moment. And that boring, very well thought out plans, well, they outperform the noise and the chaos of markets. So at Family First, we don't build plans based on hope. We build plans that assume volatility, that account for human behavior, which is a significant factor in how successful someone is in investing. And really that protect against the bad decisions during emotional times. It essentially we give you a playbook that allows you to be able to manage the fear before it even arrives. So really, we reject cynicism in every way, right? Because if you truly don't believe that there's a future and that it's actually better, then you won't have any regard. Why would you protect a future you don't believe in? So if this week's newsletter left you kind of struck, let's do a reset. Don't ask, what do I think the world will do? Instead, ask, what does discipline require of me? Because that question cuts right through the fear. It turns uncertainty into action. And that's really how wealth is really built. Not by hope alone, but by hope guided by structure, because hope is not a strategy, but discipline is. Hope is just the reason that you'll stay engaged. I hope that helped. Make it an amazing week. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.